Welcome back and thank you for staying with Maisha Prime News. At the heart of the much anticipated August 9th presidential election stand two strong contenders, Raila Amolo Odinga of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition and William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza Coalition. Among the four presidential aspirants, one between Raila and Ruto will become the president if opinion polls have anything to go by. Both of them have promised to spearhead economic boom and fight corruption if they win elections. But who among Raila and William Ruto has the best manuscript to fight the corruption monster in the country? To bring us to speed, Bushebi Jr. delves into Raila's and Ruto's corruption strategies that have made the 2022 general election centered on economic liberation.
Kenya has borne the pain of a harmful colonial legacy for nearly 6 decades. Throughout this period, there have been flashes of hope that unfortunately have gone down as lost opportunities, inflicting a terrible loss on the country. And on the cusp of another transitional moment, another opportunity beckons. Will Kenyans embrace the promise of a better tomorrow that comes with Uhuru Kenyatta's succession, or will it be another lost opportunity?
Wakenya wamechoka na porojo. Wakenya wanataka kujua ukweli.
Ile kitu ya mwisho tunaweza kufanya ndio tuzike hii nchi ni kupatia William Ruto rais wa Kenya hii. Hiyo ni kuchukua sasa Kenya kuingiza kwa shimo, kuzika. Hakuna kitu itakuwa imebaki.
President, and this is with regards to leadership and integrity. Your opponent, who did not turn up tonight, said he could not come to this debate because he did not want to face a man who has no regard for ethics, public morals, or shame. How would you respond to that?
Do you sincerely believe that that is the reason why he's not here? I don't think so. I don't think so.
The British colonial rule imposed a burdensome hierarchy of the master-servant model in which the privileged and the propertied racial minority blatantly enriched themselves at the toil and expense of the millions of natives. Independence only sent this model into a new guise.
Naysayers have said that we should not invest so heavily in infrastructure because people do not eat roads, they do not eat bridges. I have refused their pessimism because I know what a new road means to a farmer who has for decades been unable to get their produce quickly to the market.
Today, the master-servant model has married politics and commerce in the post-colonial state. A minority has captured the state so that it serves the selfish agenda of this privileged class.
Kama kuna Wakenya wanalala na njaa. Kwa sababu mimi nimesema kila jamii ambaye hawana mapato watakuwa kila mwezi wanapata shilingi 6,000 kutoka kwa serikali.
Ile serikali tulikuwa tunaendesha akakuja na pepo. Yeye mnanielewa? Na akatuletea mambo ya rege. Sasa miaka 4 ametuzungusha na rege. Mwisho, simulisikia mwisho iliishia huko kotini. Mwisho kotini ikasema illegal, unconstitutional, null and void.
Fikirieni na musikimbie. Musikuje na speed. Speed inaangusha jameni. Afadhali pole pole na ufike pahali ambapo ulikuwa unaenda. Ukikuja waambie huyu ni mzee hafai, tunataka kijana, sijui huyu ni afako namna hii, huyu wako namna hii, huyu wako namna ile. Mtu anachagua na bongo bana, mtu achagui na uongozi uko hapa. Sio uongozi, sio mpira ya kuchezwa kwa kiwanja. Uongozi sio sprint, ni marathon. Wewe utakimbia hapa, by the time umefika pale pumzi imeisha, lakini mzee amekanyanga polepole akuja kupitia ukiwa bado kwa barabara.
The class rolls on the wheels of impunity and contempt for the ordinary struggling citizen. A succession such as the one Kenya is in provides an opportunity to break from a bad past. Political transitions, even in imperfect democracies, present opportunities for countries to break with their bad histories and forge better futures for everyone.
Rift Valley that usually vote us as a block. The rest of the regions are disintegrated, and they always, kind of divide their votes to whom.
As President Uhuru Kenyatta's term ends, Kenyan voters now have a choice between two frontrunners, Deputy President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Raila ni Mkristo asili, yeye ni Manglikana, alibatizwa katika kanisa ya Maseno na amebaki Manglikani mpaka siku ya leo. Mimi nataka wale ambao wanaeneza hiyo porojo wakome, manake wanapeleka porojo ya shetani, na shetani atashindwa, sio?
We will not allow you this time to pull the railway. We will not allow you this time to organize demonstrations. We will not allow you this time to swear yourselves in.
Who between these two offers a better opportunity to Kenya for a clean break? Millions of Kenyans depend on the answer to this question. Depending on your often emotional inclination, you might easily settle for either Dr. Ruto or Raila.
Well, with or without Mount Kenya region, you can win the presidency. Raila has tried a few times, and he won even without support, only that because when you look at history and within our purview, in 2007 Raila won the presidential election, which was disputed, okay? And 2013 Raila won the presidential, which was disputed again. And so he won without money. But then there comes a time when you look at now, as we speak, most of the regions that were so much consolidated during that time, it was 8 to around how many, we talk about 8 provinces. It was 7 against 1. Now today as we speak, there's a lot of polarization among these regions, that any person can walk in any region and get a certain bunch of votes. So Mount Kenya becomes...
Yet the choices between us require rigorous objectivity and unemotional engagement with ourselves. First, we must get the diagnosis right before we prescribe the treatment for the disease we suffer from as a country. Secondly, we must be careful not to fall into one of the many psychological traps before us: confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that conforms to existing beliefs and deliberately resist evidence to the contrary, is particularly dangerous. William Ruto has based his entire campaign on paying attention to the struggling masses and dignifying their daily hustles, kazi ni kazi. His bottom-up economic approach has the potential to address the dangerously widening gap between the rich and the poor, while addressing negative ethnicity as people begin to organize around a new tribe called economic interest.
We want to prioritize empowerment of every business and every farmer. So the contest has been framed.
Raila Odinga, on the other hand, has since crossed over to the exclusive club of billionaire bearers of the colonial legacy. His language, for instance, taka taka, meaning rubbish, is typically of this heritage. He should find it extremely difficult to fight the offspring of the colonial project, the impunity and Madarao merchants. Even with their anti-corruption mantra, Raila and his running mate Martha Karua look likely set to succumb to the temptations of the status quo.
Sisi ni project yenu, wale ni project ya wafisadi wote, wale wanangojea kunyanyasa Kenya, kuendelea kunyanyasa. Mimi nawauliza Mulembe Nation, let us rescue our country.
But why is this sharp distinction between Ruto's and Raila's campaign platforms not clear to everyone? Welcome to the mental world of confirmation bias, among other thinking errors. Consider the following questions. Who between Ruto and Raila is corrupt? Who can be trusted to fight corruption? Many would say Ruto is corrupt, that Raila will fight corruption, and the reason they offer is that he promises to jail the corrupt.
Uchaguzi ni juu ya ufisadi. Wafisadi na wale ambao ni wakombozi. Wafisadi na wakombozi. Wale ni wafisadi. Unaona yule mgomba mwenza wa Ruto anaitwa bwana sijui Rigathi Gachagua. Hello. Bwana Gachagua. Kwanza yeye ni mtu ambaye alikuwa dio tu. Baadaye Uhuru kaweka yeye kama PA yake. Ndani ya miaka 2 shilingi bilioni 13 imepita kwa account yake. Bilioni 13. Unajua bilioni moja ni milioni 1,000. Milioni 1,000 mara 13 imepita kwa account yake. Anasema yeye anafanya biashara. Yeye anafanya biashara gani? Hata managing director ya Safaricom hawezi kupitisha bilioni 13 kwa account yake. Wewe uliza yeye biashara ambayo unafanya ni ipi ambayo inajulikana katika taifa letu? Hili yote ni pesa ya umma ambayo wameiba. Juzi ameshtakiwa na shilingi milioni 200 ilikuwa kwa account yake, ikawa frozen huko. Mahakama imeamua baada ya kupata ushahidi ya kwamba hiyo pesa ilikuwa ni ya serikali, irudishwe kwa serikali. Sio ni huyo mtu kama huyo anaitwaje? Anafaa aende State House au aende committee? Aende wapi? Lakini yeye ukilinganisha na ile bosi yake, yeye ni kama mwanafunzi. Unaona? Kwa hivyo sisi pande yetu baba na mama Martha Karua, sisi tuko mlengo ya ukombozi. Wale wako katika mlengo ya ufisadi.
Now, if you are given evidence that shows that Raila and perhaps 99% of his politicians is corrupt, you will refuse to believe it. Also, if you are told that Raila cannot jail the corrupt unless he breaks the law by ordering courts to pronounce suspects guilty before trial, you'd still find an excuse to believe him. But Ruto has said the most effective way to fight corruption is to strengthen the independence in resources and decision-making of the institutions charged with the role.
In terms of your manifesto, some have argued that you're not really strong on the issue about corruption, which is a big problem in Kenya. Is that fair criticism?
We have a solid plan on dealing firmly, decisively, and conclusively with corruption. Number one, there is absolutely no reason why the judiciary continues to beg for money from the executive. We will operationalize the judiciary fund, which is a constitutional instrument, to facilitate the judiciary to hire all the men they need. Today, corruption cases take up to 10 years. We want corruption cases concluded in months. Number two, there is absolutely no reason why the DCI, why they continue to beg for money from the office of the president. We will give financial independence to the criminal justice system. They will go after everybody without reference to the office of the president. And number three, we have put it in our manifesto that we will deal firmly and decisively with entrenched, chronic corruption that has taken over institutions and turned the whole country into state capture.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bushabi Jr.